Oh, and if when you get a chance,
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Be My Own Boss podcast. I am joined here by Mr. Mike Hruby, my co-host,
hello, Steve. Hello, everybody.
and I have been a little under the weather, guys. My voice is much better, but I am close to. Next week we will have the intro. The other thing is I didn't want to bring Mike's new intro in on this piece because this is the closing of the Boston Massacre. I feel like next week is going to be a different episode, and that's where we'll premiere it. So you guys will be probably happy to see it. But we, as you know, as many of you know, we've been going through a um, six part of the Boston Massacre 2024, and mostly as it relates to what happened to gig workers in Massachusetts, where Mike is. And oddly, this morning, I'm just going to run through this real quick with you guys, and then Mike's going to take us through the last part of this, and hopefully, there's some light at the end of the tunnel. It's going to be a happy day, but I want you to know that it's very odd timing today. Uber and the driver app launched in Massachusetts its new rollout of what the Attorney General and everybody that's been fighting for this for a long time wanted. Some of you will instantly see the problem. Some of you might need to digest it a little bit, but let's run through it because this is what the drivers see in the app today. So, Uber. We reached out previously to let you know that Uber came to an agreement with Attorney General Andrea Campbell. That gives drivers access to new protections and benefits. We're excited to share that several of these benefits will soon be available to you. Here is some information on the new benefits you'll receive in the coming weeks. Guaranteed earnings. Starting on Thursday, August 15th, you will earn a guaranteed minimum $32.50 per hour for your active time. Again, guys, keep this in your head. This is the main part of it, active time. On trips that begin in Massachusetts. Active time is the total time you spend while on the way to pick up a ride and drop off a rider. For those that know, that's stages 2 and 3. The other phases are not paid for, and that's the big part. To meet the earning guarantee, you may receive a supplemental payment at the end of a 2-week earnings period. We know why they do that, because they add the hours and the and the $32.50 together. If on some hours you earned over and some under, they will balance that out so that you never earn over $32.50 an hour. And again, that's just for the active time. So as always, you will keep 100% of your tips on top of the pay. We know also, I need to mention this, that in every city this is launched in, tipping goes down over 50% within 2 weeks. So don't expect many tips anymore. Because, and we'll get to the reason why those tips go down primarily. There will be a partial earnings period between August 15th and 19th. The first 2 week will be the 19th through September 2nd. And then the last here, Benefit Hub, you can access that for you in Massachusetts, you can access it through the app. And then here's the kicker, though. Here's how it ends. Massachusetts driver benefits surcharge. Anybody already realizing what's happening? We'll be introducing a new rider surcharge on all trips starting in Massachusetts called the MA Driver Benefits Surcharge. This is a rider fee, which helps Uber fund the new driver benefits. And in fact, we know in Seattle, they've destroyed this, and the volume is so down. To all of you in Massachusetts, look, for a few honeymoon weeks, I hope this works out for you. And I hope not too many of you have to leave the platform, because there won't be enough work. And that's a proven fact. And I mean, we can see what happens we got to give it over a month. We can see what happens in 5 to 6 weeks, but I guarantee you already by then we will see less volume. So, Mike, how are you?
I'm great.
I'm sorry. I just had to put that rant in because I thought the timing was just funny.
Well,
today
Steve,
on part 6.
Good news or bad news, we're going to be here to report it.
Yep.
And we've got good contacts in Massachusetts, and we have, we'll do our best with it. You'll likely hear it here first, if possible. I haven't seen this any other place but here.
Yeah, so. And just so you guys know, I obviously those of you who drive Uber know how this comes. It either comes in the form of an email or usually both, or the first time you open the app once it's launched. So, yeah, so we've all seen this in the other states. So most of us are not surprised by how this is worded or whatever. And that again was for the Massachusetts one. So it does say that in Thursday, the 15th, that is this Thursday, in 3 days, this starts. So if Mike orders an Uber in 3 days, he will have the fees and everything will be more than they've ever been, just by a little bit. It'll go up over months, but he will now see a Massachusetts surcharge for bad government that will say, hey, you need to pay the stupid rider fee that we are going to give now, and that's $10 extra per ride.
Most of what Massachusetts government does is a surcharge for bad management, but
Yeah.
we'll address that separately.
So we're going to jump in. I'm just going to say hi, Traveler. Hey, Bubba Sue. Hey, Ron saying, they're going to massacre the passengers now. Yep. See, Ron knows.
Yep.
And once they get to the food delivery space, we all know what happens then too. They ruin the passengers, they ruin the drivers, and they go after the restaurants that are their partners now, to make them pay for these legislative slips. Hi, Steve, Mike, Traveler. What's up, Rick? I guess he sees more people in here than me. Maybe not. And everybody in the chat, thank you for joining us, and thank you for the couple of people over on Facebook who have Facebook. If you comment, we should see it here. By the way, if you're driving, just drive, be safe. But here we are. We're at part 6, and we've been talking about this Boston Massacre 2024. It's Mike. I think Mike has done an awesome job of breaking these 6 parts into 6 parts, and the fact that he did it before we ever recorded the first part is amazing, because he already knew it'll be 6 parts. And we've had some great comments, and it has. And here we are with part 6. We're going to round the corner, and it's I can get by with a little help from my friends.
Yep, it's true.
So,
well, thanks, Steve. And again, I'll extend my welcome to everybody for joining us for episode 6 of the Boston Massacre of 2024. The little announcement from Uber makes me think that this might be elastic. There might be more episodes, but we're always glad to follow up as necessary. So just a quick recap to look at some of the distance that we've covered. In the earlier 5 episodes, episode 1, we show how the ABC law itself trapped Uber and Lyft. They never thought it would be this bad. You're never going to hear from them. You'll never hear from the Attorney General, but $175 million fine is a lot of change. And afterwards, the AG revealed that she was all in on unionizing drivers too. So that's create a nice national template for unionization of drivers, lack of independent contracting, and huge costs going out to all the users, whether they be restaurants or passengers. So then in episode 2, we pried open, as we promised, the ABC labor law, and we found 90 words designed to kill independent contracting. The enemy is here. It's in labor law. And they're really, in the end, as we've discussed, there is really only one thing to measure, and it's completely clear, and that's a single individual's choice of the responsibility to be their own boss. That's what it comes down to, avoiding the truth. Unions and the government specialize in this. Episode 3, we looked at the wording of the 9 tests, not the 3 tests you might expect. The language is designed to fail all independent contractor arrangements, no matter what. Just like with Uber and Lyft, no amount of legal talent will get you out of it once they put their meat hooks in. And it really is proof that governments can really make some horrible laws. That's just a matter of fact. Episode 4, we looked at labor law as a theft of 73 million working incomes, and Massachusetts is the model, has been right along. And I'm calling 73 million incomes gone. I'm calling it grand theft labor. So we've got another term we can use, Steve. ABC labor law in episode 4. Nope, that's the one. Episode 5 was labor law cannot be fixed in our lifetimes. It's too complicated a job. It just needs to be discarded, but too many people are going to adore it. So we discussed that there's another path, never discussed, another path to freedom for independent contractors. And that's by creating a token, which we can choose as self-employers. And I held up my $1 coin from 1881. It actually could look like this. A token of your choice to be your own boss, a token of my choice to be my own boss, etc. for Steve and 73 million others. And what we know is that with your voice and your friends, you can defend your freedom to work as your own
I've
boss.
got my token too.
You've got your token too? I can't see it.
Mine's for climbing a 14er, but
oh, good for you. That works. That works. We'll consider.
Yeah.
We can have customized tokens. We can do this. So let's get started. There are 3 steps. 3 steps, guys, that will get you where you want to be. The first one, you've heard us say this before, declare why you prefer to be an independent contractor. That you can do that with a short video. You do it on your phone, the same one you work with. Why do you prefer independent contracting? I'm Mike. I live in Massachusetts. I'm an independent contractor. Here's why. That statement that you make refutes all the claims otherwise that you prefer dependence. You're saying it right out loud. That's as simple as the be my own boss solution. It's exactly the same thing. You just declare it. That's where we're going with this. You've chosen this work style. So why not share why you want to keep it? You already talk about it with people. And nothing, absolutely nothing, convinces people like your face and your voice and your character. Guaranteed. By declaring.
Yeah, and I want to say on that, maybe I need to kind of start a fire under my own butt for this. But when we first started, I was pulling in, I was getting a lot of people to send videos in, and it slowed, guys. We're like 88 days out from the election, and things are going crazy as it is now. Both sides are gonna, both sides are saying they're gonna get rid of taxes on tips. I mean, first of all, that's very, very big. I'm coming from service industry. That's almost impossible. But I mean, now they're both claiming the same thing. So things are a mess. There is no reason to not get these to us, because these people, I know this, and Mike knows this too. These lawmakers are hearing from people, but they're hearing from the people who want to be W-2 employees in a non-W-2 setting.
Steve, there's just to document that, there is a great article that I will send around. I don't have the link yet to post it in the chat, but the headline, it was written by a Jennifer O'Connell, who is a good friend of mine. Congress doesn't care about freelancers, and it may cost them at the polls. This is one of the most important articles on independent contractors in the law that has been written in the last 4 years. It's remarkable, and I will make sure you can get a copy. She says the truth. Congress doesn't care yet. They haven't seen that they've got any skin in our game. So back to you. Oh, wait.
Well, I mean, that's really what I had to say, is that these elected officials are hearing from people. But they were hearing from us in these batches for a minute, and I think we were getting some really good momentum, and for whatever reason, it paused. I know we all hit a summer. Things got a little slower. We were having to work more. But even so, it's all more the reason. Do you really want to know that in your city, there are people going to say that they want to do what you're doing, but they can't hustle to the level you can, so they just would like to do it as a W-2 employee? My guess is none of you want that. So do you have to go down to City Hall? No, but you can make a video still. You can do an audio, whatever. I mean, these are, as we've said, these are much more powerful. You can still write a letter. I mean, you can do that too, but I think the video is the most powerful. So anybody that could, it would be to all of our benefits. So I'm not even going to say it's to yours, but it is to yours clearly. And I mean, if things did totally go and change, and a fight would have prevented that some or slowed it to be to a different outcome, would you not be kicking yourself in the butt if you didn't make one know that it could have done something?
It has an impact.
I guess that's my point.
Anybody, by the way, Steve, while you were doing that, I posted a direct link to all 28 of the videos that we've posted and a couple of more combination videos. They're actually in my Venture Mike 1, my Twitter account, but they're on Rumble, and the link is here. You can pass this around. It's all public, and they're all there with their little mini description. And I'm very appreciative to everybody who contributed. We're going to start reposting them. And
I was gonna say, maybe we can start reposting like schedule it one every day for the next 28 days. On To Be My Own Boss, that one will drop. And yes, most people might have seen it already or whatever, but it'll kind of remind people.
The audience turns over. But the latest one we had got 2,700 views just on Twitter, and they're on 8 platforms. So that's very encouraging how far they can go, which means that one video is going to go in 8 different platforms, and it can go to thousands of people. So we don't need 73 million. We can do with a couple of hundred, because we'll just paper the joint, with our own claims. Okay. Anyway, once you record it, and we will send you a link to yours, and then we promote it, and it's working while you're sleeping or while you're doing something else. So this is a very handy tool, and you can reach thousands of people, as I said. So the second thing is to get it into our hands. It's really crucial. You take your video. You can see in the 28. It's guys everywhere, at home, in the car, wherever they are, out in the road, in the highway. Ron was in the highway.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to work with you. This is not, you versus Washington, or you versus, East Lansing, or anything like that. This is all of us together. And
it's weird that Mike just said East Lansing. That's where I was born and raised.
East Lansing. Congratulations. We're a couple of Midwesterners. You're just on the Western side right now.
Yeah.
Your statement will inspire others to make their video, and you guys are the innovators. You're the first to try this, and it's really working well. So,
and it's not. And I got to point out that it's not them. All they got to do is upload. All you guys got to do is make it, upload it, and I mean, I'll get it out on other platforms. Mike gets it out, but also Mike he knows who to send things to. We don't. There's always a skill set that comes with somebody. One of Mike's skill sets is that he knows this came from this needs to go to this, and this person.
We, by the way, Steve, exactly right. And thank you for saying that. We ask only for your zip code, and with your zip code, we can look up who your rep is. We can actually, if you'd prefer not to send it yourself for some reason, we can send it and say your constituent supplied us with this, and zip code, whatever. And
you guys, you can leave city, but we've even said if you feel skeptical on that, you have no reason to. But if you do, you can just say state if you feel more comfortable.
State's fine. If you live in Dink, West Virginia, you can just say West Virginia. That's okay. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna take this for a second. People might want to know where the vloggy.
Yeah. So while you're posting that, even Oscar posted here, watch, they'll most likely do that for cash tips, and most people don't carry cash. So it's just another political scam. I like that because, like by the time it's kicked into effect, there won't be cash anymore. We'll just be using credit cards.
We'll be using federal digital currency.
We'll be officially on the ruble by then.
Or the yuan, whatever is
that was a joke, you guys. Chill out.
All right. So, third thing, engage your circle. Your circle is much bigger than you actually think. It's not just the people you see in the morning, although they're on the list. Your like-minded friends will help you if you ask them. So you're going to be thinking of who already thinks like this. So it's all your driver friends, get them engaged. And it's your husband or wife because they have a stake in it, or your girlfriend or boyfriend. They've got a stake in it too. Your family, your friends, your clients, your customers, you got regular customers, your suppliers and your vendors. I mean, the list goes on. Neighbors, podcasters, you've got Steve, you've got all the other podcasters too. Get them to talk about this. It's easy to do.
And if you're in Massachusetts, think about it anyway. Think about putting a QR code on the back of your seat if you're doing rideshare.
Yeah.
That if somebody gets talking with you with, hey, what's this new $10 Massachusetts BS fee? You can say, oh, just scan that code, and it will take them to a location that Mike and I can create, like on a website or on New Jobs America, somewhere that explains what's going on and how even a customer could upload a video.
Hey, you can call it the Boston Massacre.
Yeah. I mean, because here's my thing though, to the Boston drivers, you're gonna be here, or Massachusetts, you're gonna be, even if you don't normally talk pricing with your customers, I can tell you from past states that have done this, you're gonna have a lot of questions from customers about this.
Yeah,
you the driver, even though you didn't choose it, you're gonna have a lot of, the more you know about it, the better, because you should be totally informing them.
Yeah, and even those are potential friends, the guys in the back seat who are paying them much higher bills. You say, look, this is because people are deliberately confusing us with employees. We're not employees. We're our own boss. Get them in, that's an opportunity to get them engaged. In one sense, we can turn the whole Massachusetts experience into a recruiting drive. Think about it.
Yeah. But for the right cause.
Absolutely.
Or for the right reason, I mean.
So anyway, and it just keeps broadening out. All you need for your friends is a few minutes help now and then, and associating with allies really works. The frontier is closed, Steve will tell you, but you can still work together. It works even better than ever, and we've got all these tools to get together and communicate. So our wrap up is really simple, Steve, for this episode. It's send us your video. We'll send you a link back. Keep reaching out, get your circle engaged, and use your own video as part of your recruiting tools. And if there's anything you can do, email us. Talk to us in the chat, message us, email. However you know to get a hold of it. You can let's see, newjobsamerica.com. We have a comment section. You can get comments to me that way.
You know what I was just thinking I'll do? I will today put up it won't be me or it's just going to be like a 15-second short on the Be My Own Boss podcast page that is the QR code that takes you to, I can't remember if is it eLink or eTreeLink or something, where Mike and I basically set up everything that links you to New Jobs America or any social Be My Own Boss.
Oh, Linktree.
The Linktree, yeah. So I'll just, because you can put up just the QR code. I don't have to put the whole long string. And then you can just scan it, guys, and you can just go to it, and you can pick which one you want to go to. YouTube, Twitter, wherever. I mean, they're all on there. I think that might be best. Any questions or anything, that's where we'll put it up. And then you can pick your platform that you like to use to contact.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know what you prefer. Maybe it's something we're missing. We've got 8 platforms that we're on, Steve.
Right, I know. And that's why I was thinking, instead of putting them all out there and confusing people, like which one do you guys really like or watch the most, just put it out as the QR code. And here's everything.
Yeah, we'll add it.
Yeah.
Terrific. So spread the word. Thanks, everybody, for watching the podcast series, Boston Massacre 2024. We can open it up to you right now if you got questions, suggestions, comments.
Yeah, I see that we have, with Facebook, we've got 15 in here, 16.
Oh, good.
So, I mean, yeah, guys, I know the time of day it is. It's either 2:30 Eastern or it's 11:30 Pacific or anything in between. That is lunchtime. Most of you are working. You might be just driving. I get that. And when I'm driving during those hours, I would usually never have the time to text, and I'm actually on the road driving, and we wouldn't want you to text. So don't. But if you're watching this on the replay, if you have any ideas, anything, and again, sometime this week, we will premiere parts 3 through 6 because that had a good effect on the Be My Own Boss podcast page when we did the parts 1 through 3. Now we've got 4 through 6. So we'll put out another video of this, and that's just 2 parts then that does the whole 6. So if for some reason you've caught parts of this and that, and today you're catching this, like, and you're like, God, I feel like I missed a lot of this, then that's what these are for. So you can go watch the whole piece. But yeah, I don't, other than that, I've got some ideas for some topics. I know I brought up to Mike, I would like to really talk about unions one of these weeks in terms of, I don't think many people have, a lot of people I've talked to have asked me over the years, Mike, like, why are you so against unions? And I spend, and I'm not against them or this, and I explain myself, but I think what might be a better thing is to explain unions. I feel like a lot of these people have no clue other than, yeah, I've heard of unions. I've never been in one. I know there's benefits, but I know they take money from you. I mean, a lot of people are on just such a basic level of understanding that maybe we could bring it up a notch and make it, you really understand that. I mean, it's a touchy subject, I know, but like before we started here tonight, I was telling Mike that in Seattle, the TNC is already in bed with the Teamsters, and Uber and Lyft got shoved under the TNC, told they were going to make a lot more money. Again, it's an active time thing. So I know drivers up there who really, it didn't help that much. Some of the delivery drivers maybe, but that's a different thing. But they're already having money taken out from the Teamsters. So, I mean, I don't know. You guys are hearing this 3250. It's going to work really manipulative, not in your favor. And I mean, what if the Teamsters decide they want 10% too?
Well, instead of working what could be collaboratively with the platforms, now you're working non-collaboratively with the Attorney General and unions, and the unions that want to take your dues and your pension, and the platforms. So they've got 3 wolves, and they're deciding, you're the lamb, and they're deciding what's for lunch. So it is not a good look. We can, Steve, one of the great ways to look at this is we have no idea about their motives, but we can talk about the interests that unions have, their business interests. Everybody.
Yeah. No, I'm not looking, and that's why I'm not looking for it to be a diss the union thing.
Right. Nope.
It's more just like, let's learn about unions.
Yeah, I agree. I've been 13 years with this.
Right. And I just think it'd be a beneficial piece to everybody. So
yeah.
But I've got a lot of ideas, and so Mike and I'll start typing those out. We've been so engulfed in this that now it's time to go. Okay, now we got to pick session by session again. So also, you, the viewers, leave in the comments, because comments help the video grow anyway. Go to the Be My Own Boss page, because after we're live, I usually sometime during that day I turn it to members only on mine, but it's always public on the Be My Own Boss page. Leave comments, even leave topics you might want us to talk about. And we're happy to.
Yes.
I mean, I might not know about something. Mike might not know about something, but we'll figure it out and we'll have the discussion.
I have learned a ton doing this series. A ton. I never knew some of these things that we presented to you. Just like you.
Well, I think
got to study it.
You kind of did, right? But you actually like compartmentalized it all and put it in order. So maybe you just kind of were like, whoa, I've got it actually mapped out now. Like
it has so many different parts to it, you know, and the implications of each thing. And I mean, it's like
the unknowns.
Yeah.
There's I mean, to me, anytime I read this kind of stuff, there's just, I could put a if then sentence in for like a C+ programmer who's used to doing, who knows looping sequences, I could put an if then in that would break the algorithm. Like, well, what if this? Well, I don't know. Charge you more money, or I don't know. Take your car. What? I mean, there's just too many unknowns. There's too many things that are not like very clear. This is this. I don't know. A lot of the wording in all of the states doing this stuff is very open to interpretation.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
as the ABC test is.
Yes, absolutely agree.
So, I mean, there we go. I mean, I guess that's the reason. It's left to interpretation because everything these days is being left to interpretation.
Free of direction. How do you demonstrate that?
Yeah. I mean, and give some examples, because you can't just say, well, this guy, yes, this guy, no, and they're both doing the same thing. Because how are everybody supposed to square up and go, well, if they call me and ask me, like, how do I know I'll be one? You don't. Wear nice clothes and smile a lot, because it seems like it's just going to be based on your attitude. But I don't know. I really, all of this stuff, I don't know. Prop 22 is solidified. The Seattle Council wants the new initiative removed, but the council, or they voted on it and said remove it now, and that was 6 months ago. But the council members, every time they meet, fight it, and the businesses have already lost $50 million this year. The restaurants alone. The restaurants, not the platforms. I'm not caring about DoorDash, this, that, or the other. I'm saying that because of everything the city's put on them, now the restaurants are saying, we're losing our shirts here, guys. Like, this isn't working. And so they want it gone. The customers want it gone. The drivers want it. Everybody wants it gone, except for the 6-person city council, who has been told by their board, who voted it to go away, to get rid of it. And they're going, no, we're not going to do that. So I don't know how long that kind of standoff lasts either, because at some point the rule of the law is that they shot it down and it's done. The pay up legislation. But the people who need to come out and say it won't. I don't know how else to word it. We're having a standoff of politicians up there. And I don't know. That's not what I want. I mean, my state has been mentioned. My state is going to be going through some changes. I mean, they seem pretty broad here in Colorado, and they're not going until January 1st. So I imagine, Uber and Lyft and DoorDash and all the rest are going to find a way to backhand all that. Because they're not stupid. Every time you think that this seems like the biggest win ever, and of course, there's been no movement from Uber about it. They're like, yeah, we'll go along with that. So everybody in Massachusetts thinking it's great. Well, today, even just what we showed you in the screenshots, it already is starting to hint at, yep, you guys know the drill. You're going to lose money. Sorry. Tell Attorney General Andrea Campbell that you're not happy. So, with that, I don't know. This series has been great for me. I'm losing my voice a bit, guys. But it's been an eye opener for me. It's been nice to put it into order. I've seen a lot of nice comments to what we've been talking about, and that's mostly Mike on this one, guys. So give Mike the golf clap on that one, I guess. He spent some real time putting that together, and obviously all of us in the know really appreciate it. And I know a lot of people watch on the replay because we do this at an odd time, but I also know that there's a lot of regulars who, when they can, show up in here, and that's we love it, and we will keep seeing you back here. And if, like Mike said, if we need to bring this back up, if this is not, because it's not a dead issue, and how it plays out, we might be revisiting it here soon. Who knows? But yeah, we will continue to do these. And Mike, thank you for these 6 parts. And if anybody missed them all, just go back and watch them. They're all there. So
well, thank you, Steve. It's been a pleasure, and you justify your value to your thousands of followers. And I really appreciate it, and I want everybody to know what a wealth of ideas, creativity, and insight Steve Johnson is in person working together. So it's been a pleasure.
And all of you guys too. You guys help me so much. I mean, I've gotten to know so many of you. And I mean, it's a lot of times you guys lead me down a road that I heard something about or whatever, but then you give me more direct path. I go down it and I check it out, and you were exactly right. So I mean, you guys are a wealth of the whole. It's a team. It's teamwork, and that's how we're going to end all this.
By the way, and bring a token that is your favorite. Maybe it's a subway token. Maybe it's what was that, skiing?
No, it's for hiking to the top of Mount Bierstadt, 14,065 feet.
Bring your own token, right? Be your own boss. Bring your own token. We're going to do that legislatively. Forward, upward, onward. Thanks, Steve.
Yep.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great day, and we'll see you back here next week. Oh, and if you're not, check out the audio podcast. You can find it on Spotify, and there will be others. There's a couple offshoot ones too, but you can find it on Spotify right now. And even if you don't listen on Spotify, go give a 5-star ranking so it moves up the audio podcast a little bit too. Appreciate everything you guate did. Appreciate you, Traveler. Thank you. And
upload your video. Upload your video. Yeah.
Oh, this is where we got those screenshots from. Thank you for those. We used them in the start. If you did not notice.
Thanks, man. Great.
So,
thanks, man.
Yep. You guys are great, and we'll see you back here next week.